Welcome back to the Daily Bitcoin 5. 5 stories every day that matter to Bitcoin. Today on the Bitcoin 5, first European nation to invest sovereign wealth in Bitcoin. Let's go. Before the stories, the Bitcoin price check. Current price, about $64,200. Bitcoin continues its sideways grind, trading nearly flat over the past month, less than 0.25%, and down modestly from 4 days ago, minus 1.2%. The most significant move remains the 13.8% decline from 4 months ago when BTC sat above $74,000, though the 4-year view tells a dramatically different story with a 168% gain from about $23,900. Story 5. Tim Draper predicts Bitcoin will go infinite against the dollar. Billionaire venture capitalist Tim Draper laid out his vision for Bitcoin's future adoption curve. Businesses will first accept Bitcoin alongside fiat, then transition to Bitcoin-only acceptance, triggering a bank run that fundamentally transforms the global financial system. Draper predicts this will cause Bitcoin to go infinite against the US dollar. While the prediction sounds hyperbolic, the underlying logic tracks with hyper-Bitcoinization theory. Once Bitcoin acceptance reaches critical mass, Greshman's law reverses and people hoard the superior money while spending inferior currency. Story 4. Bitcoin developers launch red team to harden network against AI. 25 Bitcoin developers from around the world have assembled a red team dedicated to hardening the Bitcoin network against emerging AI-based attack vectors, according to Bitcoin historian Pete Rizzo. The initiative represents proactive security measures as artificial intelligence capabilities rapidly advance. The effort acknowledges that AI could theoretically be weaponized against Bitcoin infrastructure, from sophisticated social engineering attacks on developers to computational assaults on cryptographic assumptions. By simulating attacks before they occur, the red team aims to identify and patch vulnerabilities before hostile actors exploit them. Story 3. Russia approves Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT for exchange trading. The move positions Russia as increasingly crypto-friendly, while the United States continues debating regulatory frameworks. This represents another data point in the global race for digital asset leadership. While Western nations deliberate, countries like Russia are establishing regulatory infrastructure that could attract crypto businesses and capital flows. Story 2. SEC Chair Atkins to unveil major crypto framework. After Senate, SEC Chair Paul Atkins is preparing to announce comprehensive crypto regulations after the Senate delayed the Clarity Act, according to industry reports. Both the SEC and CFTC are now independently developing regulatory frameworks to provide the industry clarity that stalled legislation failed to deliver. The development suggests regulatory progress may advance through agency rulemaking rather than congressional action. This approach could expedite implementation, but may also face legal challenges without explicit legislative authorization. Story 1. Luxembourg becomes first European nation to invest sovereign wealth in Bitcoin. Luxembourg's finance minister announced the country has allocated 1% of its sovereign wealth fund to Bitcoin, marking a historic milestone for European nation-state adoption. The move positions Luxembourg as the first European sovereign entity to publicly disclose Bitcoin holdings as a strategic reserve asset. This follows growing momentum among countries exploring Bitcoin treasury strategies, particularly as traditional reserve assets face currency debasement pressures. While 1% may seem modest, it represents a significant philosophical shift for a European financial centre known for conservative monetary policy. That's today's Bitcoin 5. Let me know your favourite story from today in the comments below, and subscribe now so tomorrow's update lands directly in your feed. I'll see you tomorrow.